Occasionally within your lucid dreams, you can find it to where it can be very difficult to speak or to talk, where maybe you're trying to say something and there's no sounds coming out at all, or maybe you're trying to talk loudly and it's coming out like a soft whisper, or whoever you're trying to communicate with can't seem to hear you. So here's a great way to get around that. Exercise your dream mouth before you try to speak. Basically, just move your mouth around, move your tongue, lick your lips, add a couple chomps and a few small hums, and you should be good to go. And while I haven't purposefully tried this, it sounds like a really great idea, and I'm sure it worked pretty damn well. Where, you know, this does happen to me where I have an inability to speak, but normally it's in my non-lucid dreams. Most of the time when I'm lucid, I mean, I'm sure this has happened to me at some point, but I can't, you know, recall any off the top of my head. Oh, wait, I take that back. There was one. So one time I was like flying around my childhood home, and I see my dad. This is like right after my grandfather passed away. And so I'm showing my dad, because I had pretty good control. I'm flying around. So, hey, Dad, look at this. But then as I'm talking to him, he's on the porch behind him in our house. I see my grandfather, or his dad, who just recently passed. And I got kind of choked up. Like, I wanted to speak to him to tell him, hey, look, Grandpa's right behind you. But at that moment, I couldn't speak. So what I did instead is actually use sign language. I'm like, Grandpa behind you. And so then he went and you know, saw his dad. And of course, I tried to call my dad the next day or text him like, hey, did you see Grandpa in your dreams? And there was no hit there. But nonetheless, so that is at least one example. Then we'll close it off with this. With an inability to speak, a dreamer might reason that there is a lesson to be learned, that they should perhaps speak up a bit more in waking life. Not because the dream is trying to communicate with us, but because it might reflect how we feel about our voice or about speaking to people, or it might just be that we speak so quietly in waking life that what we get is actually the most accurate representation of one's voice that the dream could put together. So just one more thing to throw out there, but that'll wrap it up. Until the next video, keep the lucid dreaming practice legit.